Hello and welcome. Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to this weekly analysis. Unfortunately, we managed to release this video late due to certain disturbances. But however, welcome once again. We hope you like, we hope you comment. We hope you have already subscribed to the channel, since we are going to be sharing this resource for profound information on a daily and weekly basis. So roughly the analysis for volatility 75 index, right now we are just going to do a rough top-down analysis so that you actually can see what we're actually anticipating for this week and even the upcoming weeks as we go on. So roughly right now we're on the monthly time frame on our MT5 platform. We are currently on the monthly time frame. So if you check on the monthly time frame, volatility 75 index has actually been more of bullish. It made a bull run there, kind of retested. Then here, so the possibility of it continuing with the bull run, the chances are there. The chances are there for it to actually continue with its uptrend, because that's an impulse move correction. It can possibly make an impulse move there according to the monthly time frame. So let's just go deeper to actually see the possibilities of that happening. So if you actually can see, we also have this interesting level here. This interesting level. That interesting area there. If you check, that's a very serious monthly rejection. Let me put it on a different color. That's a serious rejection on the monthly time frame. Right. If you check, that's actually a serious rejection on the monthly time frame. So if you check the area that was rejected, it was actually this critical zone here. This critical area there, which was actually a support, a very strong support, because this market, if you actually can extend it, you can extend it all the way to there. So if you check this market, when it came here, it rejected, broke, came back inside, came back and respected that same level, because here it was still acting as a resistance, but right now it's now acting as a very major support. So right now we can actually place a text there and mark that as a major level of support, major support. So the market right now is currently above a very major level of support. So this is the monthly time frame, guys. As you can see, the market came, created a resistance there, broke the resistance, came back inside the resistance, respected the resistance, broke the resistance, retest. So this previous monthly candle, it was actually a retest on that broken resistance, which was not acting as a support. So that's actually a major support that we are having, of which the market, let's just scale down to the weekly time frame. You should check that same support. You can see it clearly on the weekly, how it was respected, how it was. So right now the market broke, came back down. Right now it's back up on top of that support. So right now, roughly, we're expecting more of buys than sells, because even if you check the structure from the bottom here, you actually had a very serious double bottom there, double bottom, first touch, second touch, double bottom, and it went all the way, retested this neckline. So as you know about double bottoms, for example, it started from the top down, came down, started from the top, came down, went up like that, went up, came down. So according to the rules and the nature of double tops and double bottoms, they actually have to return where they started. So roughly it has to actually return all the way to the top there. All the way to the top there, it actually has to return all the way to the top. So before it actually returns all the way to the top, the nature of a double bottom, for example, this half level here, it actually has to break it and retest it. So roughly here, it broke, came back down, kind of a retest there. So we can actually call it a retest there because it actually retesting this half level there of the double bottom. So roughly it can actually retest and play around before it shoots all the way to the top where the double bottom started. So that is for the monthly and the weekly time frame. They're actually showing us a very, very interesting moment for more buys than sales. So even if you check the market structure, that was a higher high, then made a higher low, then the market came and made a higher low. That's a higher low there. Went all the way, made a higher high, and here came back again to make a what? A higher low. So roughly the possibility of this market coming to make a higher high there, it's very, very, very high, very, very high. What we just need to do is to spot the right moment for the swing buy. We actually need to spot the right moment for the swing buy. So the monthly and the weekly, they're actually supporting the major buy that is actually possible to happen. So obviously the first target, once we get an entry, the first target, we actually have to respect. We actually have to take note of that level as well, because the market can actually come here and respect there as well. But roughly that will be our first target if ever we're going to swing this trade this week. So roughly we now need to identify the daily entries, the entries that we, for the buy, the entries for the swing buy. That is what we now need to identify. So quickly, I'll just go to my trading view. As you can see there, I'm now on my trading view.binary, which is a very interesting platform, especially for analyzing. So I'll start from the daily, since we have covered the monthly and the weekly. So if you check on the daily, we have an interesting thing. Like if you check on the previous videos that I shared on the weekly analysis, if you check, we actually spoke of this market coming back to our trend line. Yes, we took advantage of that sell, but we actually spoke of this incident happening, the market coming back to retest that trend line, of which the market is back on the trend line right now. It actually came back inside, which is actually also an interesting thing, because either it can actually be a break in, a complete break in, to continue with the uptrend, as you have seen from the monthly and the weekly, which is showing more of bullish bias more than bearish bias. So that break in is actually confirming even what we saw on the monthly and the weekly time frame. So that break in, for us to actually confirm that this is actually a full break in, what we need to see now is let me just drag. What we need to see, that market retesting inside there. So we have our trend line there, a beautiful trend line on the daily. That's a beautiful trend line. You can actually draw another one at the top, which will be a target for the top. So for a complete break in, what we need to see is the market retesting that break in. So same as a breakout for the market to actually confirm that it has fully broken out, it actually has to retest that broken trend line. So as you can see, the market broke in. That is a break in. That was a break in. So this retest, if it's indeed a break in and is fully confirming even the bullish momentum that we saw on the monthly and the weekly time frame. It actually is to give us some bullish confirmations here all the way to the upside. So roughly on the 4-hour, we're on the 4-hour right now. As you can see, it actually made the retest. It actually made the retest, and we now need to scale down to lower time frames to actually get our entries. So roughly, for someone who can enter even using the 4-hour time frame, they can actually wait for this current candle to close. Someone who enters using the 4-hour time frame can actually wait for this current, either it can close as a bullish engulfing somewhere there, it can close somewhere there. Obviously your stop loss will be just on the recent candle there, all the way we are holding all the way to the top, all the way to the top there, as you have seen, all the way to the top. So that is for someone who enter based on the 4-hour time frame. Remember, there are different kind of traders. Others, they are swing traders, others are scalpers, others are day traders. So roughly, if you scale down to a lower time frame, like a 1 hour, we now want to identify the buying opportunity. First touch there, second touch, third touch there. So I actually have a third touch on the day, on the 1 hour time frame, which is an interesting and very interesting moment. I actually have a third touch, first touch, second touch, third touch. No need for me to plot again the downtrend line, as you saw it on the 4 hour. It's still there. We are still there. So roughly, I'm on a third touch on the daily, which on the 1 hour time frame. So here, one can actually take advantage of that opportunity and actually enter now that buy, obviously taking note of that top trend line that is at the top. So one can actually enter now. For example, here the 30 minutes, once it closes after 14 minutes, that will be a very clear bullish engulfing, which can go all the way to the top, there. Once it reaches that recent top, you now need to look at the reaction that is going to give. Then you're going to base your entries all the way basing on its reaction there. So roughly, according to the monthly and the weekly, as we saw, the probability for the market to actually buy this whole week is actually higher than even the market to sell. But as you all know, we actually react according to what the market gives us. So here, if it breaks out at the top there, we're actually going to scale all the way to the top, there, all the way to the top. We're actually going to scale our buys all the way to the top. So roughly, right now, even someone who would have entered using the 15-minute time frame, they are actually also in a good position. Even if you enter based on 15-minute, because on 15-minute time frame it is already given that a bullish engulfing candle. It has already been given. Let me just remove this, replace something new. Okay, so on the 15-minute, we had our bullish engulfing there. So meaning we are targeting to see its reaction there. Obviously, once it breaks there, we are scaling all the way to the top, That will be the first target. So roughly, someone who entered based on 15-minute, obviously they are more conservative. Their stop loss is just below the recent 15-minute candle, as you can see. That's where their stop loss is. Their entry is just right now as I'm talking to you. So if this market goes all the way and breaks that trend line that is at the top there, definitely we are actually scaling in and buying all the way to that first target. So this one is just a first target. This level here is just the first target. That's the first target. I can say TP1 there. That is actually TP1, because based on the weekly and the monthly and the daily, you actually realize that there is a lot of potential for this market to go all the way to the upside, to even go all the way to, for example, if you check, this is the 4-hour. So if this market goes all the way, we're actually expecting a very beautiful swing trade all the way to, so for someone who will actually be swinging that trade, that one will be TP2. TP2 will be this one. Then for the final TP obviously will be at the top of the trend line. First TP, second TP, third TP will be somewhere there at the top of the trend line, according to what we are seeing. So roughly, this is the analysis for this week, guys. This is what we are seeing for this week. We're actually seeing a very, very beautiful bullish momentum. So roughly, since we said, guys, we actually react according to what the market is saying and how the market is moving, in as much as you might have a prediction of what the market is possibly likely to do. For example, right now, once this 4-hour candle closes bullish, guys, the higher chances of this market continuing all the way to TP1 and TP2, they are high, because this is a higher time frame, and it will actually be confirming with what we saw on the daily, what we saw on the weekly and the monthly time frame as well. So it's actually a confluence of the weekly, the monthly, and the daily, and also the break-in that happened and the retest. So this is actually a retest. So that's a whole lot of confluences. We have a break-in, a higher time frame break-in and retest, daily confirmations as well, weekly confirmations, monthly and weekly support, strong support level. So as you have seen, so right now, we are actually anticipating a very bullish movement on the volatility 75 index. Let's just wait and see how this 4-hour candle closes, and we'll take things from there. But roughly, those who actually enter based on smaller time frames, they're actually in based on 15-minute time frame bullish engulfing candlestick pattern that we've actually been given there. They're actually already in. They're actually already in on that trade. They're actually already in on that trade, as you saw. So roughly, that is what we are anticipating for this week on the volatility 75 index. That is our expectation for this week on the volatility 75 index. So even if you miss this entry, you actually get that breakout and retest that is probably gonna happen at the top there. So you actually can scale in even after that retest. So roughly, that is the expectation. The most rare thing to happen right now is for this market to make a fake break-in. For example, I told you that it has broken in the trend line. It has broken in the trend line. So you see this daily candle that is currently loading. It can actually determine a lot of things, even to what might happen this week. So this current daily candle, once it closes below that trend line, that will actually be a fake in, because it went in, then failed to retest. That would be a fake in. That is a rare scenario that even if it happens, we're actually also anticipating to take advantage of those rare opportunities. So roughly, that would be a rare, a worst case scenario, in my opinion. That would be a worst case scenario for this market to make a fake in at such a moment where the monthly and the weekly are confirming very strong bullish momentum. So if you check even on the daily, we actually have a very strong level of support, and you also saw those levels of support on the monthly and on the weekly. We also have a very strong level of support that is being respected. So actually also expecting the same to happen. So roughly, guys, this is the analysis that we are seeing. This is what we are seeing on the volatility 75 index. We hope you like, we hope you share, we hope you share with us your comments, what you think, till we meet again on the next video. It's Smart Traders International. We love you. We are here to make sure that your trading journey is fully full of direction, full of clarity, full of success. Till we meet again on the next video. Thank you.